Hey, hey, Blue Table fans! It's time for a 40K bat rep. By the way, I said that with Mason just like standing right there. He's like, whoa! Whoa, is he talking to me? It's time. You know what? I know why you keep coming back here. And it's for the bat reps. So, I'm playing Thomas. It's going to be 40K, 1750 points. And we are ready to roll. Let me show you the board. All right, so we got a whole Moons of Endor type of space station on wooded planet thing going on. Pretty much we have impassable here. Obviously, you can shoot through the holes. You've got the forest, which would be difficult terrain, 5-up cover save. Up here, you've got, you know, what you see is what you get. It's pretty straightforward. Really not much to say about specifically the board. Tactically, it's always unusual to have something giant in the middle here because this can give you cover. In fact, it gives you cover from people shooting up almost 100% of the time. But it is right in the middle, and there are two very clear zones, one on this side and one on this other side.
I assume we're calling these runes.
So would that be area terrain then? Is that what we're going to do?
For the base is would be a 5 or better.
Okay, sounds
good. But the runes themselves, if you're behind them, they would be a 4 or better.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do that. All right.
I would assume that
for the Necrons, we have the same thing that I played against with Ren that worked really well. It's a very flexible list. It's 1740, and we have 2 Ghost Arcs, 2 units of 10 warriors in there. We have 2 units of 5 warriors. Those are objective takers. 10 immortals. And by the way, that does make 5 troops choices, which is pretty healthy. We have a Necron Overlord right here. A Triarch Stalker. 5 Wraiths. A Doom Scythe, which I love. Awesome fig. Awesome name. Does an awesome thing. And a Doomsday Arc. All painted Rust Necron style. You are going to see this army at Valhalla October 2012, the last Valhalla of 2012. And guess what? We've got Mantic coming out, Worthy Painting coming out, Mini Wargaming coming out, and Dave from Hawk Wargames, creator of Drop Zone Commander, coming out too. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, Thomas.
How's it going, man?
You should know I'm not afraid of your army.
Well, I don't know. I would be afraid of it.
I'm very afraid.
All right, so the main contingent is the Space Marines. They're led by Vulcan Histan. I have 2 tactical squads, 10-man, with power fists, melta guns, and missile launchers. Okay. Then as heavy support, I have 2 Thunderfire cannons.
Ooh, nicely converted, too.
Thank you very much. And then 2 Typhoon land speeders, my fast attacks. And then as an elite's choice, I have a 5-man Stern Guard squad with 3 combi meltas, a melta gun, dropping in a drop pod.
Okay, I know what that's all about.
Yep. And then as the allies, I have a Rune Priest in runic armor, Chooser of the Slain. He's got Living Lightning and Jaws of the World Wolf.
Wow. And
then I have a heavy support. I have Long Fangs, 2 missile launchers, 2 las cannons, and then 2 10-man Grey Hunters. Sorry. Okay. This squad has Melta.
So this is allies then.
These are allies. Okay. This squad has Melta, and a Wolf Standard and a Wolf Mark of the Wolfen. Okay. And this squad has Plasma Melta.
All right, awesome. And by the way, these models are from the studio Space Wolves.
Yeah.
It's no, this is one actually that they painted up.
They painted, yeah, they painted up.
All right,
that's good.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. We're doing Dawn of War, which is deployment along the strips of table edges, and we're doing Crusade, which is D3 plus 2 objectives. We rolled 5 objective markers. We rolled off for placement. You put the objectives on at the same time as the terrain, so you have to think of objective markers as terrain. You don't roll sides because that really wouldn't be very fair, would it? If you take a look at it, you'll see that the objective markers are in roughly a cross pattern. The only one that's not symmetrical is this one right here. Now, Thomas is going to tell us a little bit about the strategy behind placing objective markers.
Well, as opposed to 5th edition, where you would place your objectives after you knew which table edge you have, you now place it before. So you could, in theory, especially since now you can place 6 with this multiple objectives, you can place them within 6 inches of the table edge.
Right.
You could place your choices like right here in the corners of the map, you know, way far
and
away.
just hope you got
right, and then hope that you got this table edge. But
right.
you know, there's a chance that you're not going to get this table edge, and currently there's no way to be able to re-roll your table edge except for maybe Corbulo. So that makes it so that you're given basically a 50-50 chance that you're not going to get that table edge and you're going to make it so your opponent does, which is hugely in your opponent's favor. So there's still a balancing factor of, hey, I need to balance where I'm going to place my objectives so either side of the table I'm okay on.
You also might look at your own army and your opponent's army and think, how mobile is my army?
Yeah.
So if you have an army that needs to stay together in one giant block, well, even though you're doing them symmetrically, you want the objectives to be kind of bunched together. That's
true.
And if you have a very mobile army, notably more than your opponent, then you'd want to put objectives like way far away because, you know, or you might have an army that operates independently as well.
Well, and that's a true thing of 6th edition. In 6th edition, they really, in some ways, nerfed and made it harder for you to use transports effectively to get into close combat. But the transports are faster now. Every transport can go ahead and move flat out during the shooting phase,
which is like running
further. Yeah, a regular Rhino can move 18 inches a turn now,
and disembark
the next turn.
The next turn.
The next turn they can move 6 and disembark. So really, they made it so that you could with transports, even though transports can leave you vulnerable because they might be easier to get rid of, or they might be not as useful for being able to charge afterwards. So things like the Rhino Rush, quote unquote, is out. But they made it so that you could get places faster. So while an infantry army could be more effective in some ways, you still are losing out on the same mobility you did in 5th edition, but even more so because you can move faster in 6th edition than you could in 5th.
Okay, thank you. We rolled our Warlord traits here on page 111 of the rule book. Thomas took a personal trait, rolled a 6 of immovable object, so his Warlord is a scoring unit. That's right, and that's Vulcan, right?
Yes, Vulcan.
Okay, and then my Necron Overlord can redeploy 1 or 3 different units before scouts are deployed. By the way, I do have some reserves in my army.
Okay.
I have a flyer, which is automatically reserved, right? And I also have a unit of death marks over here, which is in regular reserve. Excuse me, which is in deep strike reserve.
I have a drop pod, which will come on turn 1.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, we're rolling for choose side and deploy.
Actually, they're
I've got a
separate rolls.
5 and a 5. Is it really?
Yeah, they're separate rolls.
Okay.
So choose your table edge and then you
5 and a 2.
Okay,
so you'll
your
choose.
table edge, actually.
Okay, fantastic.
And then
Now, why did you choose this table edge?
Okay, so my army...
What's the strategy?
There's 2 things. My army has Thunderfire cannons in it.
Right.
Thunderfire cannons have Tech Marines, which can bolster runes. So there's 2 runes over there, so those are going to be really nasty. I'm going to put stuff in them, and they're going to have really good cover saves.
Okay.
Maybe hard to get rid of. And then also, you placed objectives closer to that table edge than I did, and these objectives are out here in the open.
Ah, very clever.
So I got
that makes
lucky,
it a lot harder.
Well, I mean, if the roll had gone the other way, you would have chosen that edge.
Right.
And I just would have had to learn to do
Well,
it.
I always put my objectives in cover because that's funner.
I always put mine out of cover because it's funner.
All right, there you go. Come and get them. Come and get them. Okay, and now we roll for option to go first.
Yeah.
A 5
I
and
got
a 6.
I will go ahead and
I'm always confused by that. Okay.
I will go ahead and take... Let's see, there's night fighting in this, isn't there?
Right.
Do you have one of those guys that can turn night fighting on?
No, I don't.
I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Okay, so why are you going first for the novice player?
If we get on a 4 better at the beginning of the game, we're going to get night fight, which means that you have a maximum range of 36 inches, and I've got some artillery and stuff that are going to get a lot of my range stuff is not going to shoot.
So you want to go first because
I will get the first turn when there's not night fighting involved. That means that I will then be able to shoot the most effectively at first. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so the first turn, if we roll a 4 better, we have night fight, which means over 12 inches you're obscured.
Yeah, I understand.
You're shrouded.
It does, right?
Okay, right? Okay. So then you're going to take your first turn and move, but you're going to have the same effect on you. And then on my second turn, I will then get the first turn
first shot.
without the shadows.
Night fight. Oh, okay, got it. I thought you meant on your first turn you wouldn't have night fighting. That didn't make any sense.
Okay.
All right.
So I deployed first, obviously. What I decided to do, I decided to split, because I didn't know where he was going to deploy. So I decided to split my Thunderfire cannons, and I bolstered both these sets of terrain, and then I combat squad my tactical squads. Bolstering adds +1 to the cover save.
Okay, so those are 4 up now?
4 up on the ground and 3 up if you're behind us.
Okay, great.
So we're 25%.
That's going to make it tough. Well, and look at how he's positioned these Thunderfire cannons. There's really no way they're not getting cover. The 3-up cover.
Yeah, unless you're like, I mean, if you were right onto it, it's probably less than 25%.
You have to line it up pretty good.
Right.
Okay. And then the Grey Hunters, Long Fangs.
Grey Hunters
Rune
here,
Priest.
Long Fang, Rune Priests are with the Grey Hunters. I mean, with the Long Fangs.
Now you've
Vulcans
deployed
with
more or
tactical
less
squads.
centrally. Why is that?
Because ultimately, even though I wanted to make it so that I had the multiple fields of fire, so either way I could shoot you with some of the Thunderfire cannon fire, I wanted it so that even if you deployed one side or the other, you refused flanked on me, I would have my forces able to more closely able to go one way or the other.
Well,
Plus,
and think about it.
the
In one
objectives are here in
turn,
the middle.
this could be over here. Now you're basically on that side.
Right.
And hidden, the central force hidden back here. And so what I've done is I've also put myself kind of heavy in the middle here. I've got some firepower here. But here's most of my troops. And I had considered deploying over here because you have to look at the lay of the land with regards to the objectives. So, like, if you get 3 objectives out of the 5, you're looking pretty good. And so the question is, well, where's the biggest concentration of objectives? This one, because it's in, actually makes it a bit easier to target these 3 here. That is the hardest objective for me to possibly get to. And yeah, it's pretty much a toughie. So I'm going to try and sneak the Wraiths here because you got to think a couple turns ahead, so they can jump out, still have some really super cover right here, if not being completely out of sight, and then they can jump up and actually assault into this whole area there, and that might not be too bad. I've got my 2 units of 5 Necron warriors each, and I'm going to have to not be tempted to get them out in the open, because their job is to run out and grab an objective at the last possible second. So your troops' choices, where's your troops' choices?
Half tactical squad, Grey Hunters,
2,
half tactical squad,
3,
half tactical
4,
squad, Grey
5,
Hunters, Vulcan counts as a scoring unit,
6,
and Grey Hunters and half
7,
tactical squad.
8. So that's bad. It's bad for me. And I only have 5. I thought I had a lot with 5. All right, folks, away we go. We rolled night fighting, no night fighting, so turn 5 we'll roll a 4 up to see if that happens. Steal the initiative, nothing. So we go on to top of the first, Space Marine first turn, away he goes. Okay, here we go. Here comes the drop pod. He's busting out on it. Boom.
That'll hit.
Okay, that's a hit. So out they come. They're not joking around. So he's moved right up to the Doomsday Arc, and as well he should. He knows those are pie plates. There's a lot of field of fire here. So I have to look at
4 inches.
So it's a run then?
No, they get it. It's like disembarking a vehicle. You go from the hull, and you would move within 6 inches of the hull. But since it's difficult terrain, you roll.
Oh, okay, right.
Difficult terrain.
Interesting. Okay, that's interesting to know. So you have to think, what is my opponent looking at here in terms of getting the objectives? Well, look at this. He's just sat these guys here. He knows I'm unlikely to push that far forward, right? So there is kind of a come and get me element here, which is, if anything, sit pat here, move his army up, and really threaten that one and the top one. And that's 4 out of 5, all within reasonable reach. Or more likely, Thomas might just run up here at the last possible second. And so this will really be a shooting game. And if you look at the board, there's a lot of open air territory on both sides of this thing here. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this splits up. All right, he's inching the Typhoon out. I don't know if he's getting range on this. Seeing if he can actually move it back. So 36-inch range. What has 36 inches here?
Heavy bolter.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-measuring means that why should I not plan to
Oh, yeah.
in such a way that I can be the furthest away
Right.
and still get
Absolutely.
my shots.
I'm a huge fan of pre-measure. I think it's I think pre-measuring takes out a lot of the shenanigans out of the game. Of people that know how long their finger is,
Right.
And also it was a skill though, estimating distances, which I think will be newer players just won't have that. So yeah, I got this thing, this Doomsday Arc. There's almost no way this is going to survive.
This is my chooser of the slain.
He's go. Okay, great.
On the barrel.
Gaw! I don't even know what that does, and I should.
Chooser of the slain allows my priest, when my priest decides to use an attack, if he can draw line of sight from the chooser of the slain, it adds +1 to his ballistic skill.
Okay, great. All right, well, Thomas is making his movement phase, doing his movement phase. Let's talk about Valhalla. I just got an update on that. I did misspeak earlier. Mantic is not coming out to this one. We have Worthy Painting, Mini Wargaming, and Hawk War Games coming out, plus some guests, plus Blue Table Painting staff. This all could change. We never know. Will someone's flight be delayed? Will there be other issues? We're all doing our best. However, there are 2 tickets open. These are for bunks. There's a bunk room with 4 beds in it. You don't spend a lot of time in your room at these things. And those are both what are called drop pod passes, which is the least expensive of them all. You can also find accommodations in town. It's probably a 15-20 minute ride up to Sundance each day. You would stay in Orem, possibly Provo, and both nice cities with plenty of places to stay. That would get you what's called an event pass. An event pass means you find your own place to stay and you simply drive up to Valhalla each day. And I have to tell you, don't pass this up. Don't pass up a 4 days of wargaming and food with these awesome names in the industry. Yeah, and never mind, Blue Table Painting will be there as well. It's pretty exciting. So pick up your tickets today. The tickets are on the Webstore. Oh, Thomas is ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for some shooting.
Great.
I'm ready to get shot at.
Right, so where I moved, this guy, like we were on camera, I inched out. I'm going to start trying to take some shots at
I'm ready.
Stalkers, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called.
Canoptic Wraiths.
The Wraiths. The Wraiths, in my opinion, are the biggest threat that I have they are the biggest threats I have as far as close combat. In either close combat, all I have to do is survive your shooting me as I charge, or Overwatch, to get into close combat, and I should win just about everything else. But the Canoptic Wraiths, on the other hand, are gross. So, heavy bolters, purple, and then I'm doing frag missiles, or crack missiles, sorry.
Okay, I'm ready.
So string
That'll
dating
be instant
those.
death.
Yeah.
So 1
3
hit,
hits.
2 from the bolters, toughness is 4.
So 3's to wound and 2's to wound. So they're both the same save because you have a 3-up invulnerable, but this one will insta-kill and this one will just do wound.
Okay, versus the crack missile, saves, versus the other one, saves.
Cool. All right, next.
That just cost you the game, Thomas.
I hope not.
All right, I think Thomas just needs to go home now.
Over here, we're going to shoot those guys into you.
All right,
fantastic. We have 3 combi meltas and a melt-a-gun. We're all within 6 inches.
Right.
So here's my roll to hit. And I'm twin-linked because of Vulcan his stand.
Yeah, I'm ready.
No, still missed.
Still a 1. Doesn't convert it.
And
He's
then
got 3.
There's 2 dice apiece to it. Hit. That's an 8 plus 8 is a 16, so that's a pen. Second one is a 9 plus 8 is a 17, so it's a pen. And the third one will super
2
pin you.
6s.
All right,
Yeah,
so you're pinned
that's
3
even a
times.
thing.
You have, I believe, 4 hull points, right?
Right.
So I've taken 3 of your hull points away.
Right.
And then I add plus 2 to these results, so you'll explode.
Okay.
And that's
Kaboom.
my guy goes, and then it explodes for 6 inches.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So it's going to hit all of my guys.
I'm predicting 4 casualties
And
off of your unit of Stern Guard.
I hope
The
not.
explosion.
It's going to explode, or it's going to hit all of your guys except for that one.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's 9 immortals. I don't think that's going to stay. Yeah, I think you're
I'm on
fighting a
side.
losing battle there, buddy.
4 or 5.
Toughness 4 for the
Toughness 4.
immortals.
So
Yeah,
5's
they're
to
not
wound.
Wraith Guard.
5's to wound you. I wound you 5 times, so half
Wow,
of them.
that's amazing. That's really good.
Well, I also rolled
Okay,
4
here
ones.
come the saves. Well, it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh.
4, I'm, you know,
One of those.
Man.
Look at all those ones. Oh, look at all those saves. Ba-ba-da. Lady Averages is coming for me with the beat stick.
4's,
Okay, 5 Stern Guard. Looking for 4 ups.
5 ups, because I'm
Looking
tough.
for 5 ups. One wounding hit. And he
okay.
saves. He loves it with a 4 on his armor save. All right, sounds good. So how many did I lose here, if
None.
any? That's right, I made it. Okay.
Made all your saves.
You know what's great about being me, Thomas?
What's great about meeting you, Shawn?
I can watch the same movie twice and be surprised both times at the ending. That's great. No, seriously. Like I'm watching the Star Trek for like the 4th time now, all the way through.
Which Star Trek?
And the Next Generation.
Oh, awesome.
And I can't remember how the episodes end.
There's a lot of episodes, though. It had 7
true.
seasons. With
Yeah.
some of them 24 episodes.
Oh, and some people are like, Star Trek Enterprise, the most recent one, Scott Bakula. They say it's awful. They say, well, a way to kill the franchise, Bakula. That's in an episode of Futurama. But it went for 5 seasons. So, and it was different. It was different. It was its own thing.
Here's the problem.
Okay, here's the problem.
Nerds,
Here he goes.
The nerds, the people that really like the
Not
show,
you. You're a
liked
nerd.
it just
Shut up.
fine, But
Okay.
there were the real Trekkies were like, you're killing all of the backstory, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is unbelievable, and they all felt like it was extremely over sexualized,
Right.
which kind of was.
Well, it
Whatever.
always has undertones of sexuality.
You're right, but they did
Yeah,
more
just
in Enterprise
YouTube
than
Star Trek innuendo.
Yeah.
And anyway, I found out somebody did my work for me. Okay, go
Missile
ahead.
launcher from this tactical squad into your stalker. Over there.
Okay, I'm
Try
ready.
This guy.
Yeah.
So 3 to hit you.
Is that all you got?
Missed.
Oh, a 1.
All right.
I'm sorry, that's a little crass. Thomas is good with it. Thomas is in Zen mode today.
I'm in Zen mode. I'm going to put a. Oh man, I gotta see if I can see somebody else other than him. I don't think I can. I think he's the guy. All right, we're gonna do my thunder
I
fire.
kind of drifted there. This one over here or this one over here?
This one.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Guy,
we
when
should
will
go
the
up to
shooting ever
5.
end?
Man, it's only
Holy
beginning,
Hannah.
Shawn. You know what? I'm gonna shoot these guys instead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to outshoot this army. This isn't like Ren's army.
I had to go to an all-shooting army. That's the only way that the Space Marine Codex is any good anymore. All right, so I can see this guy with my blast. We're gonna go. They have a 4-up armor save, and a 4-up cover save. We're just gonna go. Their toughness 4, right? We're gonna do a strength 6 shot from my Thunderfire cannon right on that guy.
A Necron warrior is
That's not gonna hit
remarkably
anything.
like a Space Marine. Okay, I'm ready.
Second one, that'll hit for 4 guys.
4 guys. Okay.
Third one, another 4, and the last one, nothing.
Okay.
So 8 hits, choose to wound. 8 wounds.
Okay, fantastic. Here come the saves.
4 better.
Oh, 4 guys die.
The last guy, though, the last one there's the one that lives.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you
closest.
Always pull
My
closest.
bad.
Now,
Yeah,
usually, if I was
absolutely.
firing regular weaponry, some of these guys.
Is
couldn't have
anything
been
else
targeted.
shooting at these guys?
I'm going to try to, because
Okay.
I would like to get that last guy.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to be back. I'll be back.
Very possible.
By the way, I'm playing a professional here, as you can probably tell.
We're going to snap fire the storm bolter on the drop pod into him.
Okay, I'm ready.
There was my 6. It's cocked.
Okay, I'm
so.
ready.
Nope, I missed.
All right. Awesome for me.
These guys are going to what? They're going to run. So there's a run roll
5.
for them.
Good. And by the way, this is the right way to do it. You
Run
always
roll
see
here.
me doing it the sloppy way.
1
Which
inch.
is now, so you don't have to move these guys before rolling the other guys?
I could. I usually, when we're doing bat reps,
Uh-huh.
I usually just go ahead and move them after while you're doing your turn because I want.
But what's in a tournament where everyone's uptight?
In
What
a
would be the way to go? You'd
I
have to
would-
move them.
If it's somebody who I'm friendly with,
Right.
I'll still do it this way because we both want to get the game going and get
Okay.
it done. But it could affect.
Right.
What you're.
Like
what
this
you're gonna
unit
go.
could run 1 inch, and this unit could run 6 inches.
Well,
and
that's
be
why I put
stopped
the die. That's why I
by- Right. Absolutely.
But on the other hand, you're right. People would be like, oh, well, now you have
Right.
knowledge
Yeah,
that
yep.
you wouldn't have already
Foresight.
otherwise had. So.
Right. And I do this not to call Thomas on the carpet for it. I don't care. You know, I speak for the casual gamers, and not only with my play style, but also with my dress.
It is
By the way, I'll be wearing a dress next bat rep. No, not really. Because some people would call me on that. They'd be like, okay, you said it. We're expecting that now.
Oh, they would. They definitely
Well,
would.
I could wear it under my clothes. Little evening gown, coattails
really
coming out my... Oh, yeah, that would not look right. Okay, go ahead.
A
I'm ready.
land speeder going into your, whatever that thing is. 1 hit. Looking for a 5. Nothing.
Awesome.
This missile launcher is
That was
going
a
to go
crack
ahead.
missile.
Yeah, that was a crack missile. This missile launcher is going to go ahead and go into your stalker as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Hit. Looking for a 5. Nothing.
All right.
Thunderfire
That would be
cannon.
for a glance. This has armor 11
Normally.
plus
It-
2 for quantum shielding,
Right.
which brings it up to 13.
There you go.
So it's the first penetrating hit gets rid of the quantum shielding.
Penetrating orifice.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is the Thunderfire cannon. He's going to go
Okay.
strength 6 into here.
So
if
what's
he-
this type of ammunition called?
It's...
It doesn't matter. Go
I have
ahead.
no idea.
Just go ahead.
It's the strength 6. They have 3 different shots.
Right?
We'll go right there. and
That's
get
5 guys. Yeah. So here he goes.
That's why
7 inches. That'll hit something.
It's 4 inches because of my...
That's right.
Or it's 3.
Subtracting.
No, it is 4 because it's a 6.
Right. 8 minus 4.
So it's going to be
is
3
4.
guys.
3 guys. Okay, so we got 3 so far. Here's the second shot. That looks like 5 inches that way. So,
It's going to be 2 guys.
okay, 5 hits so far. This is the third out of 4 shots.
It's not going to be anything.
Okay, so we're up to
And-
9. Excuse me, 10 hits.
No. It wasn't anything. It bounced out that way.
Oh, did it? Okay,
Yeah, it was.
my bad.
So only.
So 5 hits.
Only 5 hits.
Okay.
That was an awesome potential as you
And these are like frag missiles, basically, right?
They're strength 6.
Oh, they're strength 6.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
he's
4
looking-
wounds.
Looking for 2s, and I rolled a save. So I've got a 4-up save, excuse me, a 3-up save on the Immortals, and 1 guy dies.
Well, you might as well see if he comes back because I'm done shooting now.
And it would be from the Thunderfire, would hit the closest guy. Okay, he's done shooting. He's on to his run moves. So 5 up, comes back. Awesome. Wow. And I've got 4 guys over here looking for 5 ups for reanimation protocols. And that's 1 guy that comes back.
Oh, you make
So
a
I
morale
gotta put
test
him
first.
from. Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
See if you
So
fail
these
that
guys
10.
on a 10, I won't. Yep, I chose that to happen. All right, bottom of the first, and here's what we got. I moved the 2 arcs up, turned them into broadside mode, both within 24 inches of that unit. I moved up the Triarch Stalker and the Immortals to a more defensible position. Well, that's only defensible because it's behind the Ghost Arc. And I'm going to need to really focus in on the Stern Guard and try and get rid of those guys. Jumped these guys up, of course. Kept my 2 guys back here, kind of trying to get them completely out of sight here. And off we go with shooting. This is for the Ghost Arc. So hits, looking for 4s to wound, 3 wounding hits.
Okay, 3 wounding hits on the front of my wolves here, my wolf scouts. They make them 6 and a 3 and a 4.
10 Necron warriors shooting. Same thing. Wow, that was very good. That was good rolling, Tex. And looking for 4s. Oh, but it came back to bite me with only 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Well, 1 dies.
All right, awesome. And now the next Ghost Arc.
It's just a guy.
Looking for 24 inches. He is within range. I'm going to do the Ghost Arc first. Looking 2 hits, no wounds. Necron Warriors on board. Shooting with 4 hits and
7 hits.
4 wounds. 7 hits, 4 wounds.
Here's my saves. Another one guy died. I'm going to assume that I pulled that guy because I'm going to assume that this angle here makes it so he's actually the one that can be seen by that.
That's
I obviously
fine with
didn't
me.
go model eye view, but you can probably see a
Triarch
couple more.
Stalker. This is with the Heat Ray.
Two-shot
Focused
melta.
beam. Yep, 2 shots.
Into the stern guard.
Into the stern guard. So
One hit.
that's 1 hit and no wound. But they are hit, which means the targeting relay goes on them.
Gross.
Yeah, it is gross. Hold on.
So he's going twin linked on that, basically. It allows any other unit that shoots at these guys for the rest of the turn, any other Necron unit, gets to re-roll, basically. It makes their weapons twin linked. So he's got himself a token there to show that.
Here we go. Yay! I love a token. All right, the Immortals shooting in 2, 4, 5, 9, 10. I'm going to add these 2 volleys of 10 because it's rapid fire.
Okay.
So it's strength 5. Look at that.
Wow, good thing you're twin linked.
That would have been only 2 hits. So let's see how many I can convert with the linkage. This is with only volley 1. Not that much more. So 5 hits so far. That's quite below average. 5 hits. And
6 hits. No
look at that.
conversions.
All
So
things.
11 hits.
11 hits. And here we go. Looking for wounds. Looking for 3s. Oh, that is not so good. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 wounding hits on the stern guard.
7 wounding hits. All right, well, I have different equipment. So the closest guy is going to... Actually, I don't anymore. I use my combi weapons. So the first 3 guys are going to start taking wounds because then I have a melta-gun next in order. So here's 3 at a time. Wow, 2 of them died. And then I've got 4 more. Is that right? I'm just going to start taking them one at a time. He's alive for the 4th one, alive for the 5th one. He dies on the 6th one, so 1 shot's going to go on the Melta. Melta lives.
All right.
So I'll kill the
That's
first 3 guys
unfortunate
off.
for me. How many guys?
First 3 there.
1, 2, 3. So I got 2. I got a Melta and a combi Melta.
Now, combi Melta's
floating
been
around
used,
back
but it
there.
is a sergeant.
Okay, great. Does he have a power fist though?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Nope.
All right, well that's not too bad, but I still can't have that one guy floating around back there. But it doesn't matter. These guys on the march can just shoot backwards, and we shall see. I'm going to run the Canoptic Wraiths. I'm going to run
5
them
inches.
5.
One thing that's nice about Canoptic Wraiths is they, even before, well, I mean, they're basically like cavalry is now, but better. They ignore difficult and dangerous terrain entirely.
That's a nice feature.
It is.
Okay, and that is the end of my turn. This is all we have for you today, unfortunately. So look forward to, over the coming week, Thomas and I will be picking away at this game and giving you the thrills and spills as time goes on. I would like to remind everyone that Blue Table Painting is a miniatures assembly and painting service. That is what we do, and we're ready to give you a quote on your project. We have a whole team of people standing by. Thank you very much.